Welcome to the world of the forbidden. In today's video, we'll unravel the chilling truth about curses and hexes, ancient spells said to twist fate and bring misfortune. From historical legends to real-life accounts, we'll explore their origins, the rituals behind them, and whether they hold any power today. Are they mere superstition or something darker? Stick around to uncover the secrets of these sinister spells. If you dare, curses and hexes are ancient and pervasive concepts in folklore, magic, and superstition. These terms often evoke images of malevolent spells cast by witches, shamans, or vengeful spirits. While frequently misunderstood or sensationalized, curses and hexes represent a fascinating blend of cultural history, psychology, and metaphysical beliefs. This article explores their origins, differences, and roles in various traditions, as well as their psychological and sociological impacts. Defining curses and hexes. Curses. A curse is an invocation of harm or misfortune upon a person, group, or object. Typically, it involves a verbal or written expression that channels negative intent. Curses often have a broad scope, ranging from ill health to death, and can be tied to moral or spiritual transgressions. In many traditions, curses are seen as punishments for breaking taboos or oaths. Hexes. A hex is a specific type of curse often associated with folk magic and witchcraft. Unlike curses, hexes are generally more immediate and targeted. They may involve rituals, symbols, or objects, such as a poppet, a doll representing the target, or a specific sigil. Hexes can also be considered a form of spell work that may overlap with blessings or protections, depending on the intent. While curses often invoke divine or supernatural powers, hexes are more rooted in personal or magical practices. However, the two terms are sometimes used interchangeably, depending on the cultural or linguistic context. Historical origins. Ancient civilizations. In Mesopotamia, curses were inscribed on clay tablets or carved into monuments to deter thieves or vandals. These often invoked deities to enforce the punishment. In ancient Egypt, texts like the execration text describe ritual practices to curse enemies by smashing clay figures representing them. Greek mythology is rich with curses, such as the curse of Oedipus, which doomed his lineage due to a prophecy. Religious contexts. In Christianity, curses are often linked to divine retribution, as seen in the Bible. For example, Adam and Eve are cursed for disobedience, resulting in humanity's fall from grace, Genesis 3. In Hinduism, curses, shrap, are central to many myths, often illustrating moral lessons. For instance, sage Durvasa's curses frequently serve as plot devices in epics like the Mahabharata. Folk traditions. In European folklore, witches were believed to cast curses that could cause infertility, illness, or crop failure. The evil eye, a form of malevolent gaze, was thought to be a subtle yet potent curse. In African and Caribbean traditions, curses and hexes are integral to systems like voodoo, Santeria, and hoodoo, where practitioners employ rituals to both harm and heal. Mechanisms and methods. Curses and hexes are enacted through diverse methods, reflecting the creativity and cultural context of their practitioners. Spoken or written words. Many curses are delivered verbally, relying on the power of intention and spoken language. An example is the curse placed by a parent on an ungrateful child, a trope found in many cultures. Written curses might be inscribed on objects or paper. For instance, in ancient Greece, lead tablets were used to inscribe curse texts, depictions, which were then buried near graves to invoke spirits. Symbolic acts. Breaking an object, such as a mirror, or tying knots in string can symbolize harm or restriction. Effigies, like poppets or voodoo dolls, are manipulated to affect the target, often through piercing or burning. Rituals and offerings. Rituals may involve candles, herbs, or animal sacrifices. The colors of candles or types of herbs often correspond to the desired outcome, e.g., black for harm, red for passion. Offerings to deities or spirits might be made to invoke their aid in enforcing a curse or hex. Psychological dimensions. The power of curses and hexes often lies not in their metaphysical efficacy, but in their psychological impact. Belief in being cursed can cause real harm through a phenomenon known as the nocebo effect. This occurs when negative expectations lead to physical or emotional distress, akin to the placebo effect but with harmful outcomes. For instance, anxiety and paranoia. Someone who believes they are cursed may experience heightened stress, attributing misfortunes to the curse rather than chance. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Fear of a curse can lead individuals to act in ways that inadvertently bring about the feared outcome. Community reinforcement. In cultures where belief in curses is widespread, the social stigma attached to being cursed can amplify the victim's distress. Conversely, curses can empower the person casting them by providing a sense of control or retribution in situations of powerlessness. Cultural interpretations. Western traditions. The Salem witch trials, 1692, highlighted societal fears of curses, as accused witches were believed to hex their neighbors. These events underscore how fear of curses can lead to mass hysteria. In modern times, popular media like movies and novels often depict curses as central plot devices, such as the Curse of the Pharaohs, supposedly afflicting those who disturbed Egyptian tombs. African and diaspora practices. Vodou and hoodoo practitioners often distinguish between dark and light magic. While hexes might be used for harm, protective rituals can counteract them. The Obeah tradition in the Caribbean includes both cursing and blessing practices, reflecting a duality in its magical system. Asian beliefs. In Chinese culture, curses may involve ancestral spirits or feng shui disruptions. For example, mirrors reflecting a bed are thought to invite harmful energy. Japanese folklore include curses by nails, where individuals drive nails into a tree at night to invoke harm on enemies, a practice called Ushi no Toki Mari. Indigenous practices. Many Native American traditions view curses as imbalances in spiritual harmony. Shamans or healers work to restore balance rather than explicitly curse others. Modern-day relevance. While belief in curses and hexes has waned in many industrialized societies, they remain significant in certain cultural and subcultural contexts. Contemporary witchcraft. Modern practitioners of Wicca or eclectic witchcraft may cast baneful spells resembling hexes, though many adhere to ethical guidelines like the Rule of Three: what you send out returns threefold. Online communities have popularized hexing as a form of activism or resistance. For example, publicized rituals to hex political figures have gained media attention in recent years. Superstitions and urban legends. Urban legends about cursed objects, like the Hope Diamond or haunted houses, perpetuate belief in curses. These stories thrive in popular culture and tourism. Psychological healing. Some therapists and anthropologists incorporate understanding of curses into their work, especially in communities where such beliefs are prevalent. Acknowledging the cultural framework can aid in addressing the associated psychological effects. Counteracting curses and hexes. Cultures worldwide offer strategies for breaking or neutralizing curses, often involving rituals or symbolic acts. Protective talismans. Objects like amulets, crosses, or charms are used to ward off harm. Examples include the Nazar, blue eye, in Middle Eastern cultures, and red strings in Kabbalistic tradition. Cleansing rituals. Practices like smudging with sage, taking salt baths, or sprinkling holy water aim to purify and protect individuals from curses. Reversal spells. Some magical systems teach techniques to return to sender or reverse the effects of a hex. These may involve mirrors, candles, or specific incantations. Seeking help. Consulting spiritual practitioners, like priests, shamans, or witches, is a common approach. These individuals often perform rituals or provide guidance to alleviate the curse's effects. Ethical considerations. The ethics of casting curses or hexes is a subject of debate within spiritual and magical communities. While some argue that harm should never be inflicted through magic, others view hexing as a justified response to injustice or harm. Ethical frameworks often depend on cultural norms and personal beliefs. For example, the Wiccan Rite advises practitioners to harm none, discouraging curses. In contrast, Hoodoo or Vodou practitioners may consider hexing acceptable if it restores balance or protects the community. Curses and hexes occupy a unique space in human history and imagination, serving as tools for both harm and healing. They reflect deep-seated fears, desires, and cultural values, while also highlighting the power of belief and intention. Whether regarded as superstition, psychological phenomena, or genuine metaphysical forces, they continue to influence human behavior and society in profound ways. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the dark and mysterious world of curses and hexes. Whether you see them as ancient superstition or hidden forces at play, they remind us of humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the supernatural. Share your thoughts or chilling stories in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious and stay cautious